Sorry that this came out so late, guys. I've already done this once, but it, it didn't show my screen, so I have to redo it. So, last time we left off, Shalltear woke up. She killed the people who were trying to get into her castle. She also then went to visit the rose fields, the red water, and the Yarozus. When she got to Japan, she sensed there weren't many Yarozus left, but there was one that was still pretty powerful. and she sensed a lot of Yarozu, but they were scattered throughout the city. So she came upon Yu Yarozu, who is the mother of Mo Yarozu, and she talked to both of them for a little while. As you explained how she's a half vampire, and Izumi told her to give her number not her number, the coordinates to where her castle is, to meet there and train. Eventually, she'd been waiting, so that's where we left off. So we see Momo walking through this dark part of the forest, very dark, with like black mist on the floor. It's giving her a real creepy vibe. And Momo eventually sees her castle with a bunch of vampire guards around it and a lot of bats. And she walks up to it. The vampires didn't stop her because they were told that Momo was coming and they were showing a picture of her. So she knocks on the castle doors and it opens up. And she walks in and starts saying, I'm gonna say Azumi told her to call her name, but I figured out how to turn the comments on, but I need to do it when I upload the video. So can you guys give her a name, please? So Azumi walks in and she says her name, but I'm gonna call her Azumi for now. She says Azumi, and she appears in front of her and says, "Are you ready to train?" And Momo nods her head yes, and she walks with Izumi to her training room inside her castle. As she opens the door, and Momo says, "So what are we gonna train? First, tell me." And the first thing we're gonna train is your quirk. Actually, no. The first thing we're gonna train is your physical. It's your physical body. We're gonna have to get you stronger so you can run faster and become stronger. So she says, she puts her hand on Momo's shoulder and teleports them outside. And she told Momo to run 1,000 laps around the castle. And Momo argued a little bit to try and see if she can get her way out of running 1,000 laps. But she didn't budge, so she eventually started running the laps. And after she was done, Izumi had her run. Actually, no, Izumi had her do 1,000 push-ups, and after that, 1,000 sit-ups, 1,000 pull-ups, 1,000 crunches. Yeah, she had her doing a lot of exercises that day in the thousands. So Izumi then teleported her. Izumi then saw that she couldn't move anymore after the training was done. So she put her hand on Momo's shoulder. It says, "Same time tomorrow," and then has her disappear. And she appears in her room where Miss Yaoruzi walks into her room because she sensed that she was back, and she walks in and sees that Momo is on her bed looking like she's dying, and she ran over to Momo and says, "What's wrong?" And Momo says, real quiet, so much training, and she says, "So this was the training." No vampire really has been trained by her. So I see how hard she trains you. The only vampires that have been trained by her before were our descendants and the other two families. Descendants, the first of the turned vampires. So you should be really strong. They're all very well known, so because of their strength. So you bites her wrist and gives some of her blood to Momo, which I'm going to say she has a healing ability. If she bites her wrist and gives it to some of her blood to somebody, she can heal them. So she did that to Momo, but she only healed part of how she was hurting because she needs to feel the pain so she can get used to it. So she's not hurt or anything. She feels so much pain, but she's not hurt. So next day she does the same thing. So that happens for a year. So she's 17 now, and Izumi asks her about her quirk, and Momo says what her quirk was. She starts explaining that she has to know the molecular structure of an item to make it. And Izumi teleported to her library, specifically the scientific section, and grabbed a couple books that explained weapons and their molecular structure, and brought them back to Izumi and had her read them. After she read them, Momo began having to fight some shadow dummies that she created to around her exact strength. Actually, no, her exact strength. So I'm gonna say she has shadow creation. So every time Momo creates something, the shadow creates something. So it's her exact strength. So she has to really try, get lucky, and hope she has enough experience to win. So that's happened for about a year. She kept doing the strength training, but it was a little less, around 100. Put around 100 for the workout, and afterwards 100. So it's not as bad as doing 1,000 every day, every month. All right. So one day Izumi gave her a break because Izumi has to go hunt somebody down that was trying to break into her castle, but got away. So she's hunting that person down. But Momo's at the castle talking to some of her vampire friends that she's made over the years around the castle. And one of her vampire friends, specifically the female one, asked Momo what her relationship is with the master. And Momo blushed a little bit and said, "What do you mean?" And all the vampires that were talking to her saw this, so they're gonna tease her a little bit. So they say, "We see the way that you look at the master. We see how she hides it from looking at you like that." And Momo says she does, and then she says, "What are you talking about?" And she looks away, and they all start smiling devilishly, and they start teasing Momo a lot until she came out and admitted it, that she liked her. Liked her. So after that, I'm gonna say that all the vampires were recording the conversation that they were having. So after that, when Izumi got back to the castle and Momo left, she then was walking, and one of the vampires that were talking to Momo gave her a recording little thing, and she kept walking looking at it. She walked back to her room, and she was laying in her bed as she pressed the recording thing to start playing the recording, and she hears the entire conversation that Momo and the other vampires were having, and she was blushing like a lot, a lot, and she got a nosebleed. That's the part where she no, she didn't. Actually, yeah, because she imagined something when Momo said, "Alright, fine," that she liked her, and liked her. So she imagined something when Momo said that gave her a nosebleed, which I'm not gonna say right now because can't make this 18 plus. I'm not going to. So around when so I'm gonna say Momo's 18 at this point. So I'm gonna say years of college. So Momo is asking Izumi if she can attend UA with her, and Izumi kept saying no, 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 and one day Momo really wants her to go with her because she want to go to UA without Izumi. So she then went back to training, and as this is when she's going to train, she walks up to Izumi as Izumi is I don't know, reading something, and she starts to talk in a real low tone, trying to seduce Izumi, and Izumi notices this, and she starts doing it back, but like 10 times better. And Momo, anyway, after that they were making out and stuff. Anyway, they were making out, and afterwards they did the training. The training was the same as usual. Azumi's not gonna stop anything because of her feelings. And the next day, so I'm gonna say a couple weeks after, I'm gonna say it's about a month and a half before the entrance exam. So Momo has a plan on how to get Izumi to do it, to go with her. So I'm gonna say it's been a couple weeks. They passionately kissing for they've been passionately kissing for those weeks. And this day, Momo was really trying, so she made the first move, and she started studying with she started to study with Azumi, like studying a lot. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say it on YouTube, but well, right now I'm not gonna say it, but look at her and look at her. These two just studying. They get into the books. They reading the books, and Momo, as they're doing it, studying. Wait. Hold on. I don't think you saw the picture. Hold on. So as Momo and Izumi are studying, Momo asks in a real quiet voice, in a very interesting position, to asked Izumi if she would come to UA with her so she wouldn't be alone. And Izumi's in the moment, she says yes. And as Momo was recording it, she smiles devilishly, and they continue studying. They study hard. I'm just saying they study. Momo used her creation to study. So the next day after they woke up, exactly, she spent the night. So Izumi woke up first because she doesn't need sleep at all, but because of Momo's human side, she was asleep. So she realized what her and Momo did. She starts nosebleeding, remembering everything because she has photographic memory. Photographic everything. Everything she sees, she remembers. So she was blushing, having nosebleed. She was even playing different scenarios in her head. But Momo then woke up and saw her having a nosebleed and blushing as she was looking at as Izumi was looking at her. And Momo was wondering what she was doing, laying next to Izumi. Then she looks down and realizes she's naked, and then she starts to remember everything that happened. Everything. Not as much as Izumi, but everything. And then it was a voice recording, right? So don't get all. So it wasn't a video recording; it was a voice recording that she was doing to record her CS. So the only thing that Izumi doesn't remember, because she's not trying to remember her talking. So Momo asked Izumi, so are you coming to UA with me? And then Izumi said, I already said no, Momo. And then she pulled out a voice recording and then started playing it, and then it said, Izumi, will you come to UA with me so I won't be lonely? And then it said, then it had Izumi saying in a very interesting tone of voice, yes. And Izumi remembered that part because she remembered what the interesting position Momo was in, and when Momo said yes, when she said yes. So she said, fine, I'll come with you. And Momo said, score. And then, anyways, that happened for the next couple months. On the weekends, still on the weekdays, Momo trained. And they were actually studying on the weekdays as well for UA entrance exam. So, Momo and Izumi both. Should I go to the UA entrance exam? I'm gonna say that actually I'm gonna explain this part of the entrance exam. So they're gonna go to the same to the same speech with President Mike, but they're gonna go to the same written portion place, but they're gonna go to a different fighting area because it wouldn't be fair for the other students to have to fight with vampires in a room, because Nezu knows about vampires. That's why he has this. It's the V room for the vampires. There's stronger robots in there. There's more of them as well. So you have like 3 or 4 Zero Planes walking around at all times, and he can also get out a surprise robot, which he hasn't done before, that he made specifically to see if somebody could beat it, because All Might can't beat it. So actually, All Might can beat it at 100%. No, 1,000,000% smash. That's he can beat it. But so I'm gonna say that they went and they see Momo dressed like this and Izumi dressed like I'm sorry guys, I have so many tabs open. I was watching Netflix earlier. So Izumi wearing this, and all the guys are blushing at these two, but the aura they're giving off is saying don't mess with me. And nobody's going up to them because of the aura they're giving off. So eventually they get to the written portion part, and they all start doing the written portion. Then they do the exam with President Mike. The talk with speech with President Mike. I'm gonna say not many vampires try out for UA. I'm gonna say only Vlad King, which I'm gonna say is someone who was turned by someone in the Yarozu family, but that person died. So that's why he's a hero, because that person always wanted to be a hero, but didn't think being a hero as a vampire would work out. So only Vlad King is the really only hero that's a vampire. So when they get to the V room, they open the door, and they see that I'm gonna say Nezu knows that Momo and Zubi are trying out as vampires. They're vampires, and they're trying out, but he doesn't know that Izumi is the queen of the vampires. So she knows Momo's part of the Yaruzu. She just thinks that Izumi is her servant or something, and I'm gonna say Nezu was there because he wants to see this fight. So he says hello, Momo and her servant, and Momo chuckles a little bit, and where Izumi was standing, like there was a medium-sized crater in the ground where she was, and there was a black and red aura appearing around her. It looked like Ultra Instinct, but black and red. And she was like, and she said, "Would you just call me?" And then then Nezu says, "You're not her servant?" And then Moa says, "No, she's not. She's the one that trained me and the Vampire Queen." And Nezu passed out after your Vampire Queen. And then and then Moa asked Azumi if you can give him a little jolt to wake him up, because she can use lightning magic. Of course she could. So she says fine, and woke him up. So that spot is gonna hurt for like 2 days. I'm just saying, just because she never called her Momo's servant, and after he woke up, he says, "So you're the Vampire Queen?" And she says, "Yes, I am." And in Dezu's mind, he's like, "So I have the most powerful vampire in front of me right now, trying to try out for UA." And then he realized that she's trying out for UA, and then asks, "Well, so why are you trying out for UA?" And it says, and then she blushed and said, and then looked at Momo and said, "She tricked me." And then, tricked you how? And Izumi and Momo said simultaneously, "I don't want to talk about it." And then he says alright, and then they are standing waiting for the door to open. As it opens and they both disappear, Izumi's way faster than Momo, already destroying like 15 robots as Momo just destroyed 5. Izumi going on an absolute destroying spree, because there's no blood inside the robots, so she doesn't go into blood frenzy, so she's able to control her movements and stuff without going off instinct. But she's just destroying and wrecking everything, as Momo is always like 20 or something behind her, because Izumi doesn't want to absolutely destroy Momo. She could have wiped out the entire city in a second if she wanted to, but she's not going to do that. She has her hellhounds eating robots, biting them, ripping them apart. She already destroyed like 2 of the 0-pointers, no, 3 of the 0-pointers. Momo destroyed one of them, and they're like, and Nezu and the other heroes are like, "What kind of battle is this?" Because the 1-pointers are as strong as the 0-pointers, and the 0-pointers are as strong as like 3 times stronger than their run can. So they're like, "What kind of power is this?" And then when all the robots were destroyed, Nezu pressed a button. It says, it has a glass casing over it that says "Danger, do not press." And then he flipped that part over, and then it says, "Do not press Nezu," because he put that there for him not to press it himself. So he pressed it, and then another button appeared, and it says, "If you're gonna press this, make sure it's an emergency." And he pressed it again, and then the door opened. A door opened under the city, like like a platform elevator, so it's going up, and they see this giant head of a robot, and coming out of the floor of the city, and when the entire thing is out, all the people in the other cities can see it, and they're scared, and they over the intercoms they say, "Don't worry, this is for a student that's too strong for," and then the entire robot blew up, like smithereens, like gone, blew up. As Nezu and the other heroes see Izumi flicking the robot, destroying it, And they're like, so that really is a vampire queen. So I think this is a good part to leave this off. It's already been 30 minutes, so I'll be recording tomorrow. Hopefully I'm able to upload early, and I really hope that that this works to turn the comments on. But if it does work, please give a name for Azumi, and I'll be back next time.